We are all on a journey, you and I, everyone, and each journey is unique. And the question is, has it got any meaning at all? You and I, we each have our hopes and desires. Those desires affect not only our individual lives, but our society, the church we belong to, the nation to which we belong. And sometimes they seem to be so frustrated that the question arises, is there any meaning to this journey at all? Franz Schubert tells the story of life in his song cycle, Die schöne Müllerin, the beautiful miller's daughter. And in this story, the wanderer, who is kind of a Christ figure, a figure of masculine power, sets out on his life journey, and he meets a woman, a girl, and this girl transfigures his life. In meeting her, all of a sudden, the parameters of his life are simply expanded. Everything changes. Everything becomes magnificent and beautiful, wonderful. And he feels like he has suddenly discovered the secret of life. He knows what it's all about. And heavenly happiness has come to earth. However, the girl ultimately leaves him. And in leaving him, it leaves his life worthless, pointless. And the question arises, obviously, is there any meaning to this life at all? Well, in a way, we have that same kind of challenge. Think of, in terms of nations. I'm an American. America had such magnificent hopes. It was born in the imaginations of men 200 years ago, and their imaginations had to do with the importance of freedom, the importance of respect for one another. Everyone was embraced into this great unity, which was a unity which respected differences. Yet today we are imposing our will, our way of life on other people. And the question arises, people don't like that. And is there any meaning then to what we are and what we do? In sexuality, it's the same thing. Men and women differ, and the differences can result in conflict. But the differences can also result in magnificent, magical productivity and new life. Think of it in terms of race. There was a time not too long ago when it seemed like the different races, black and white, were getting along so well that nothing seemed impossible. And yet only a short time later, paranoia has taken over, and the races seem to be more at odds than ever. And so the question would arise, is there any point to this at all? We don't seem to be getting anywhere. And with respect to religion, there was a time not too long ago when one religion found that it was right, actually, and the others were wrong. And therefore, they had no rights. So it was quite all right to burn people at the stake. And you wonder, is there any point to this? Can different religions coexist? Well, in Schubert's song cycle, the Schöne Müllerin, these two opposites meet, transfigure one another's lives, because somehow or other in their synthesis, in their coming together through their love, new worlds were born. But because of the problems involved in the differences, because opposites do require a great deal of attention and are very difficult to synthesize, because of that, it seemed like nothing was really going to be permanent, and the separation was eternal. But there was a poem before Schöne Müllerin ended, Trockene Blumen, Withered Flowers, in which the flowers were recognized as being put in the grave with the wanderer, and they were dead like the wanderer. But those flowers would rise again to new life in the springtime. And when she returns, she will know his love was true. And then little flowers spring forth to life. Spring has come again, and winter is over at last. So here's a symbol of resurrection, a symbol of the deep mystery of death and resurrection. The parameters of life have been expanded, and they embrace not merely the meeting of opposites and their mutual transfiguration or their mutual falling apart, but also the descent into death as a part of an ascent into life. So let's listen to these variations and think of them in terms of what they can mean. What does it mean to have this woman return? What does it mean to have her disappear in the first place? Well, in First Temple Judaism, there was a celebration of the great lady who reigned over the heavenly kingdom. And when she disappeared in the second temple, a great deal was lost. And Judaism is now seeking to reclaim the splendors of First Temple Judaism. Catholicism was born in a beautiful vision, but that beauty has been marred terribly by what Catholicism has meant over these past 50 years. America, born in a great vision of freedom, and that vision has been marred by what America has done in the world over these past 50 years. Is there to be a rebirth? Is there to be some new meaning to life out of all of this disaster? And Schöne Müllerin suggests that there is, that the lady, the great lady, the divine feminine who has been separated from the masculine, the divine Sophia who has been removed from the Christ, that all of this is but a step in the direction of an ascent to a more splendid unity, a more splendid love. So let's turn now to the variations for flute and piano. and see how Schubert first starts with those withered flowers thrown into the grave to die with the wanderer. But then let us join them in their anticipation of life and the return of the wanderer's beloved, for that is what this great piece of music is all about, the return of the beloved and the celebration of the triumph of love.
you.